Jason, we all expect this defensive line to be one of the best in the country. I think it's going to be the best in the country in regards to previous track record. But the coaches like to say you got to bring it every day, and if you don't, you're only as good as what you're showing us today. So, I guess that played out in the trenches in this scrimmage.
Yeah, Clemson held its first scrimmage of the fall Saturday inside of Death Valley, and from all reports, the offensive line won today. They won the battle in the trenches. I know Dabo Sweeney said afterward that he had, I think he said 11 and a half guys that he thought he could run out there along the offensive line. And I will remind everybody, he said he thought he had 10 last year, and we saw how that worked out. But, going into fall camp, there were some questions about the offensive line, where it was, it was not very good last year. Let's be honest. It was just not very good. It wasn't what anyone expected. And I know injuries played a part in that still. Bottom line, it wasn't very good. I fully believe Dabo's got more talent in that room right now than he's ever had at offensive line. There's some options. A lot of it's still young, though, and not a lot of experience. But so far, all the right things are being said, and it's not just coach speak coming from the coaches. There were some people in attendance at the scrimmage Saturday. I know somebody who was there. He told me that he saw exactly what the coaches were talking about after the game. That the offensive line was extremely good, and you got to keep in mind that defensive line they're going up against every day in practice. That can only make things better. One of the more surprising things, or surprising to me anyways, to come out of camp is freshman Blake Miller. He's pushing for the starting job at right tackle. We all had Walker Parks penciled into that spot. He started there last year. He's a junior. There's been some exceptions, but routinely, there's not been a ton of freshman offensive linemen start from game one at Clemson. And I think Blake Miller is heading that way. And that's good for Clemson because that would allow the staff to move Walker Parks inside the right guard. And I think that gets your best five on the field. And obviously that's the goal. That's been the goal all along. They've talked about getting the best five out there, since the spring. Sometimes the best five doesn't always mean the most talented five. They got to be ready. And it looks like in this case, maybe both those things are aligning, and the most talented five will be the best five, maybe.